Lay down. Over there. Over there. Lay down.
It's recording.
Oh. Talking to the dog.
Hi, Billy.
Hi, Yvonne.
Thanks for joining me on my podcast, Not Nosy, Just Curious. And we're going to talk about you and your advisor job and what that means exactly.
Well, what my job consists of is actually I'm a mentor, I'm a consultant, I'm an advisor. All those things together, what I do, I teach young athletes how to survive in the hockey business and how to forego their future, how to become better players so they can go on to play junior hockey and then go on eventually to play college hockey.
And what makes you so wise?
Well, we have a few years experience. Obviously, you know that because we live together, but I've been in this business my whole life. I've been coaching for over 45 years. I've been scouting. I've ran hockey programs. I sold hockey equipment. I've done everything you possibly do in the hockey business.
Did you play?
I actually played. Yes, I did. Back in the day, I played on junior wings. I got picked up by the Red Wings. I played in their farm system for a few years. I got injured, and thank God a young guy by the name of Ted Lindsay, passed away now, but he hired me as a coach to coach the junior wings, and I was like 23 years old. So here I am, 23 years old, coaching 20-year-olds. And I've been coaching ever since.
So you would pretty much say you know this game.
I know a little bit about it. Yes, you live and die this sport. Obviously, that I have 4 or 5 real close friends that were all involved in hockey, and all their children were involved with hockey. And
now their grandchildren.
Now their grandkids are playing hockey.
So hockey is very cyclical. It just stays and stays. And
well, the hockey community is a very close knit group of people. So once you get into it, you pretty much are hooked. So that's why parents are spending now in the excess of $10,000 or $5,000 to $20,000. Some people pay for their kids to play on AAA programs or private schools or prep schools. I know a family just the other day, they're spending $91,000 to play in a prep school out east.
Do you think, Billy, the hockey parents have a fair expectation of how good their kids are? I mean, do they take maybe their kid is a mediocre player? Can they take that with a grain of salt? Do they accept that, or because it's such a expensive sport?
Well, parents are parents. I was a parent too, and I coached, and I coached my kids a few years, but I coached around them more than I coached with them. But you expect more from your kids, and you believe they're better than what they actually are. So that's why it's good to have an advisor or a mentor. What I call myself now is a consultant mentor, because we're honest with the families. We tell you where the kid stands, how his potential is, and if he's got a chance to go on to play junior and college hockey.
Yeah, but I like what you say, though. I think this goes on deaf ears. Correct me if I'm wrong. I like what you say. I can open the doors for a lot of these kids, but they have to make the team.
Oh, most definitely.
How do you get that through a parent's head if they think their child is so accomplished?
Well, part of my job is to educate the families, which are the parents and the kids, of what it takes. Most of my younger kids start off at travel hockey, and then they go into AAA. They usually don't hire me till they get to at least a AAA level or a decent high school program. So then the kid has some sort of potential. So, and then I there to bring it out, to tell them what they need to work on, what it takes to become a junior player, what it takes to play in the USHL or the North American Hockey League or the NCDC or the OHL. There's every level is different, and every level there's a different
skill set
that you have to maintain to get in those leagues. And and we talk to those coaches every day. I mean, we have kids in every league. My partner and I, we've been in this for, like I said, over 40 years apiece. Some of us been in it for 50, but I'm saying we talk to junior coaches every day. We talk to college coaches every day. We ask questions what it takes so we can relay the message to the parents and the kids. you know, and if the kid does not compete, obviously the number one thing is with hockey players, you have to compete. If you're,
let me interrupt though,
Yeah.
what if they're great competitors, but they have really bad attitudes?
well, the attitudes will deter them away. They don't play there. That's why there's 400 kids trying out for a junior team. That's why there's 10,000 kids trying out for a college team. Those kids are weeded out before they even get close to college or before they get to junior.
Because of their attitude.
Because of their attitude or their skill set or their if you have a good attitude and you compete, you got a chance to play this game a long time. It might not be the best college in the world that you want to go to, but there's hundreds of schools out there that are offering money now to play college hockey.
Now, isn't that kind of unusual? Colleges didn't have hockey teams before. Right?
Well, they had teams, but they never, like D2 and D3s never gave scholarships. Now they're giving scholarships. In the past, they gave academic grants or aid for kids. So if you weren't a good student, you weren't getting any money to play college hockey. Now those D2 and D3 schools are offering scholarship money, and club teams today are offering assistance too. So you can play club hockey and get your school paid for.
So as a mentor consultant, you have a gateway to all these arenas for the parents. So I should hire you. Now, what's the name of your company, and is there a fee? And I mean,
our company's called JDM Sports. Okay, there's 4 pretty much main players, and we probably got about another 10 guys that work on part-time with us, that work with us. So we're pretty well known. If I can't help you, somebody in our company can. Between Dave and myself, we've been around a long, long time. So it's like I think our company had 138. Don't quote me right, but 138 or 158. But commits last year out of our group. So and in that 100 some kids, we save the families anywhere between 40 and 80% of their college tuition, which is unbelievable. Today, a D3 school costs you anywhere between $25,000 and $40,000 to play D2 and D3. So if you can go in there and pay less than 10 grand to go to college for a $30,000, $40,000 school, you're saving 30, 40 grand every year for 4 years. You're saving over 120 grand for the fee that we charge is a one-time fee.
One-time fee.
You only pay us one time, and it's $4 grand. And that little $4 grand, trust me, what they're paying now with college coaches and I mean with private trainers and hockey schools and whatever, that's the best investment they can make because along with that mentoring we do, we have a lot of contacts. We can open some doors. So like I told you before, we can open the door. The kid still has to have the desire.
Yes.
And the majority of the kids we talk to have the desire to have to compete. They want to do it. So we're excited to work with them because they're willing to work, and we can tell them what they need to work on, and we can make it easier for them to.
But don't you think, Billy, since you started, there's popped up a whole bunch more advisors in the rinks now? I mean, it seems like everybody wants to be the advisor or think they can be.
The reason they popped up are more so the agents of the world because now an NHL contract, 10 years ago, an NHL contract was probably, $600,000 to $1 million. Now the minimum contract's over $1 million. So if you're an advisor, if you're an agent, and you get one of these high-end kids, they're paying, $14-15 million a year now. That's a pretty good paycheck for these agents.
But what does the agent do for you?
Basically, they bring you into their law firm, and they hopefully you develop and become a good player.
But they don't cultivate, they don't nurture and mentor the whole way, do they?
Well, we're different. I'm concentrated on young kids to play junior hockey in college to get to that stage. Okay, though they're already committed to kids that are 12, 13 years old when they get drafted in the OHL at a young age, and they're prospering. So if they see 10 really good kids, they're going to tell them you belong to our company, and they'll talk to them. And out of that 10, maybe one of them make it to the NHL. Okay, so after they start weeding off, then I start getting them back. They start coming to me because I work on the other stuff, like how to get to college, how to get to junior. So, I mean, we're different animals, but there's a lot of guys out there thinking they're going to make $1 million off of one of these kids, which they do. If the kid makes it, I've had a couple of high-end kids that have actually just Chase Reed. I started, and then he's he's going to be a top 5 pick this year in the draft. So, but since I started him as a family advisor or family consultant, he went on and got a high-end agency to represent him to get the money, and the agency is going to get all the money. Maybe they'll remember me someday. No,
maybe is that the hope?
Maybe they'll remember me.
Okay.
But
so ultimately, your job is advising, but that's a used up word. So you have recreated and remarketed, and now you're a mentor consultant.
Yes,
I like that better.
Well, thank you. I think it is more fits what I do. I mean, I'm consulting every day with junior teams and the players and the parents and mentoring them. I'm like a coach to them or their dad or their mom and dad that I know a little bit about the game so I can help them achieve their goals.
And your little catchphrase is you're the gateway. What is it?
To your success.
That's what it is.
Yes.
I like that.
You like that?
That's your, yeah.
Well,
that's your catchphrase.
And then hopefully if, like I said, most of these kids have the compete level and the will, and they want to play the best hockey. Like I said, we can open some doors where they can go achieve those things. And it's part about educating the families and the kids. It's not the end of the world if you don't play in the USHL or the OHL or the Canadian Hockey League. You're going to play. If you want to play college hockey, you can play college hockey. There's a way and there's a will if you have the desire, and we can open the doors to show you how to get those, how to achieve that.
Okay, so do you think, I've asked you this before, do you think best kid on the worst team, worst kid on the best team?
All that doesn't mean a thing.
But I mean,
it's all about coaching. I mean, you can play in the North American Hockey League. Say, I'm just going to, that's in the middle of the pack. You can go play in North America. If you play for a coach that's in there to try to win, then you're not in a good place. If you're in there with a coach that's trying to develop you to get you to college, then you're in a good place. Okay. And you're going to play. If you go there, they face it. They have 25 kids under contract, 26 kids, and they might have 2 or 3 more hanging around. So you figure 28 kids hanging around for a junior team and they only dress 20. So that means 6 or 7 kids aren't playing. So if you're not in the top 6 forwards, say the bottom 6 and the 6 in the stands, that's 18 kids that are going to be in and out of the lineup. They're not playing regularly. So that's pretty discouraging. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if the guy's a great coach, then I would say yes. And there are some good coaches there. But if the guy's just a coach that, like I said, trying to win, it's not a good fit for you. For a family to go there, and he's worrying about winning. So if somebody makes mistakes, that's when your chance is going to get in there. And then you get in there, you make a mistake, you're out. Whatever. But I'm saying it's all about who's going to make you the best player.
Fair enough. I like it. All right. In conclusion, we're going to cut this short. Okay.
That's very fast. It's good.
Well, I mean, do you think you need to say more? I mean, as an advisor, we don't use that word no more, mentor, consultant. How do you find your players? You go to these showcases and these tournaments. What are you looking for there when you're looking at 200 kids out there skating? Well,
basically, as you know, I scouted for the Red Wings. I've scouted for some OHL teams. I've scouted, so I've done my time in that field. So I know what most of these guys are looking for. I'm looking for a player that has compete and some skill level that he can go advance his career. And then I can come in and say, hey, I can help you pursue your career. I can open some doors if you're willing to do it. I like what I see. But you have to sign up with our company and we can work with you and we'll be your coach, your second coach behind the scenes. And we can tell you what, I get to see my kids probably 5 to 10 times a year, and probably it's the same amount online. So I'm getting to watch my kids play 20 times a year. So I can know what they're doing wrong or what they're doing, and I can relay that message to them. So this is, hey, let's work on this. Let's work on this. You need to be better here. You need to be better here. And obviously with our advice, it will improve his game and he'll have a better chance.
So you give advice.
We give a lot of advice.
To the kids.
A lot of advice.
Now, let me ask you too, when you sign up, obviously the parents are paying this bill. Who does the talking? Do you want to talk to the parent, or would you rather talk to the hockey player?
Well, every family is different. Some parents want me to talk to them personally, and I prefer to talk to the kids because I'm one-on-one with the kids, and they're the one that's going to learn. But I do tell the parents what we're working on, or I go through the parent, and the parent tells the kid. So this is what we need to work on. This is what we need to improve on. So it as long as we're on the same page and we're working on to get him to be a better player or her a better player, we now have some good women out there. So it's all about getting them to the next step and how to get there.
So you don't care who you're communicating
Yes,
with.
and like I said, my hardest job is to educate the parents that if you don't play in the OHL or the USHL, you can still go to achieve your goal.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I tell a story back when I was with Caesars. We had a heck of a program back then on the U18 team. And in the 20 years I was there, we had 800 kids go to college hockey. Out of that 800 kids that went to college hockey, only 6 of them went to the development program, which was a marquee program, and only 65 of them went to the USHL. So that was only 70 or so kids that went to the best programs to go to college. Where'd the other 750 kids go? They went to the North American League. They went to the East Coast League. They went to the Canadian BC League or the AJ or the
And the end game was reached no matter what.
And they still got to college because they worked at what their goals were and what we taught them, and hopefully, they can get there.
So do you think playing hockey prepares you for life? Do you think there's skill sets that you learn playing hockey that make you a better human being?
Oh, without a doubt. Hockey is the best sport for education, for learning to play with everybody.
What makes hockey so much better than, say...
It's not an individual sport. It's a team sport.
Neither is soccer, and neither is, these other ones. Why would you say hockey is the
because
best?
First of all, it's a very grueling sport, very physical, and there are some really good players on a team, and there's some really weak players on a team. Everybody's not the same. So the best player learns to play with the weakest player, and the weakest player learns to play with the best player. And the coach is the same thing. You learn how to coach the best players, and learn how to coach the weakest players. So when you get into business, most hockey players make great business people. I know a lot of corporations that hire hockey people to run their companies because they know how to work with the best player and how to work with the weaker player. The weaker player needs help, so you got to work with them. If you're not brought up in the hockey business and you have a weak player in your business, guess what? He's gone. You fire him because he can't keep up. A hockey player will say, "Hey, we need to work on this. Let's work on it. Let's get better." And usually they do, and they get better, and then they have a long time relationship.
Okay. So you think hockey players just make better employers?
I think so. I think they learn to communicate with everything.
Do you think hockey players transition into golf easier?
Hockey players. There are a lot of hockey players that like golf. Yes.
Yeah. What is it with the stick and the little thing to hit? Is that it?
Well, first of all, it's a winter sport, a summer sport, so you have something to do with the summer, and you get to drink beer. And
there you go.
And hockey players like beer. No, I'm just teasing, but
So I mean, if I was a hockey parent, and would it be necessary to have you employed for me?
I would think if you're struggling of finding a place for your son to play,
can I do it alone?
You could probably make a team, but what I try to explain to a parent is, when we sign a kid, we have options. I like numbers. I like options. So I get you a tryout for, say, the North American Hockey League, and then I'll have 2 or 3 other options in case that doesn't work. You don't have an advisor. Say you get invited, which they have these mass mailers. They invite you to the camp, and you do good. They make the team, and then and then say the North American Hockey League. Then they take a group up to, I think they can have 35 now to go to Blaine, which is the middle of September. And then out of that, they cut that down to 20 or so. So if your kid gets cut in September, which 80% of those kids are hanging around North America, where do you go? What do you do? I'm out. The season started, and we got cut. Now, with a good advisor or a good agency that we have, we'll have 2 or 3 options. So if you don't make it in Shreveport, we're going to get you in the Northern Ontario League or the BC or the AJ. We'll have other options. So you just get in your car and go to the next step.
So what about you get them on a team and they don't like it there?
Then we move. I ask for a trade.
So you can do that. You can move this kid around all year round.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So and I've talked to coaches. I've talked to coaches personally and say this kid, he's going to be, if he makes your team, he's going to be a bottom 6. But, we want them to play, we want them to learn. If you're going to do that, we'll come, we'll play. And if they don't play, then I have some leg to stand on. When I call them, I say, hey, listen, you told me you're going to play the kid. He's not playing. We want out. So let's trade him. Let's get him traded, or give us a release. We're going someplace else.
Oh, all right. Okay. But you have to get a release from the team that you committed
To play in that league again, yes.
Oh, all right. So there is some protocols to leaving. You don't just get to go all over.
No, not that league. No, you can go to another leagues, yes. But,
okay.
And now there's sanctioned leagues, non-sanctioned leagues. There's Canadian
So it's very
leagues.
different from when you played.
Yeah.
So much harder for a parent to do alone.
Well, yes, and it's and the lay of the land has changed so much with Division I hockey. They're paying these players. I mean, some of these colleges have a $2-3 million payroll for college hockey. I mean, per diem is over. Some of these schools have over $20,000 per diem. And when my son went to school, he got $400 a month from Michigan. That was for the utensils. Now they're getting, 10 or 20 mil, 20,000, which is, can you imagine that? And if you're good enough, like in first round pick, they're getting these first round picks. Why does a kid leave the OHL when he's going to be a first round pick and go to Michigan? Well, he's going to be playing with older players, and they're going to offer him $100,000 or $200,000 to come to Michigan.
So did that kind of ruin the sport a little bit?
Well, everything has changed. So that's, look at a football player. Just multiply it when you talk to majors. What the University of Michigan makes per game for a football game? Can you imagine how much money they take in over 100,000 people?
So do you think, Billy, like in the last 10 years, hockey's gained momentum as far as being a respectable sport?
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people, of course, heard of hockey, but it now, like you're saying,
the skill level. The skill level has changed so much. The kids are, most of the kids today are homeschooled at their senior year or their junior year, and they're concentrating 100% on hockey. They're going.
Do you think if you were playing today, you could have played?
Yeah.
Could've.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, size is different. When I broke into league, the Philadelphia Flyers were winning the Stanley Cup, and they were the big tough football. I mean, big football type team as a hockey team, but rock'em sock'em type hockey. But that everything has changed. It's so skilled today, and these parents are the kids have nutritionists, they have personal trainers, they have videos.
Yeah.
They have so much thrown in their lap. They can be such a great players in such a short period of time.
Yeah, but too bad for the kid who loves the sport and doesn't have the means.
Well,
they don't have a chance.
If they have a chance, if they're that good, one of these high-end teams will take care of them.
Really?
It's like,
I mean, how are they ever going to see them?
It's like, if they're good enough, they're going to play for free.
Oh, okay.
There are those kids. It's like I try to tell the parents every day. They're all waiting for the kid to get drafted and tendered. Well, Johnny got drafted, and my kid played with Johnny, and Johnny only had 5 goals. My kid had 10. Why did he get drafted, not my son? Well, that's part of what my job consists of, is to educate the parents. Say, hey, that life is not fair at hockey. It might be the coach's best friend. It might be his next door neighbor. Okay. It might be some kid he coached when he was younger, and he says, man, when he gets here, I'm going to give him a job no matter how good he is. And that goes on. It's unfortunate.
Well, not just hockey.
Well, yeah.
Not just hockey.
And business and too, but I'm just saying, so you can't judge your son with somebody else's kid. You got to just judge your son, what his capabilities are, and get the right person to promote it.
Right. And that would be you.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do people come to you, or do you go to them?
In the last 5 or 6 years now, more people come to me because of my experience, and people that I've represented, I've done pretty good with some of them. So they hear the rumors, and they think that I can help their kid, and I try to. They know I'm going to. I treat every kid like they're my own, so that's out there. So people know that, hey, you want somebody to work for your kid that cares, I care.
So that's important.
I think it's very important. I think it's,
so would
I'm determined.
Billy, would you do it for free? You love it that much?
Well, I can't do it for free because I have a girlfriend that needs a lot of attention. It's funny, ain't it?
That's funny, ain't it?
Yeah, that's funny. I've done some stuff for free from some friends that I helped out. and
But I mean, to love something so much that you would do it for free.
yes,
Is that it?
I still part of the reason why I'm still doing this, obviously.
So you
and
can still be involved.
I'm
with
still
hockey.
involved with hockey, and I still get to talk to my friends that I've been around forever, college coaches, junior coaches, that I know most of these guys for years and years, and keeps me involved, and it's great.
It's a lifeline for you.
Yeah,
hockey is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, close this up. Give something wise.
Give something wise.
Yeah, call Billy. Give your phone number, Billy.
You can reach me at 586-201-2502. That's how you reach me.
And what is that catchphrase of yours?
We're the gateway to your future.
There you go. All right. Thank you. Say goodbye.
Bye.